Hello students, in today's video we will be seeing Workmen Compensation Reserve and Investment Fluctuation Fund Reserve. Okay, what to do for Workmen Compensation Reserve and Investment Fluctuation Reserve under Accumulated Profits and Reserves. Till now we have already seen case 1 and case 2 of the treatment for accumulated profits and reserves. Let's have a quick recap. If it is case 1, accumulated profits, reserves appearing in the liability side of the balance sheet will be transferred, credited to all the partners in old ratio. Actually, it is old partners in old ratio. Okay. Similarly, if you have any accumulated losses or expenses, fictitious assets appearing in the asset side, this will be transferred to all the partners, that is the old partners in old ratio in the debit side of partners capital account. The effect of this is the accounts are closed. The accumulated reserves, profits and losses accounts are closed and it will not appear in the balance sheet henceforth after the reconstitution. Whenever the question is silent, you have to follow this case 1. As far as case 2 is concerned, it will be mentioned in the question that the partners do not want to distribute the reserves, or the partners do not want to close the reserves, or the partners wish to continue the reserves in the new firm. So you have to look out for the hinting words and then you have to apply case 2. In case 2, we have to calculate the gain or sacrifice, and the entry for reserves and profits are gaining partners capital account debit to sacrificing partners capital account. If it is a fictitious asset, an expenditure, deferred revenue expenditure or a loss, then the entry is reversed, sacrificing partners capital account to gaining partners capital account. Now that was a quick recap. Now let us see Workmen Compensation Reserve. This reserve is created out of firm's profits to pay compensation to employees. What is compensation? Salary and wages are regular compensation. Apart from that, if employees meet with some unforeseen accidents, the company is bound to pay them a compensation. So, for this unforeseen accidents as well as regular salary, wages, bonus hike, etc., the company will maintain, or the partnership firm will maintain, a reserve. This reserve is called Workmen Compensation Reserve. Now there are 4 cases as how Workmen Compensation Reserve has to be treated with. Okay, let us see this with a question, illustration number 26. I am grateful to APC publishers and DK Goyal sir for having shared the soft copy of this chapter during COVID-19 time. Let us see with the question. P, Q and R sharing profits and losses in the ratio 3:2:1. They decide to share the future profits and losses in the ratio 4:3:2. So the new ratio is 3:2:1, old ratio is 4:3:2. With effect from 1st April 2017. Following is the extract of the balance sheet. So you have a balance sheet question, extract. On the liability side, you have Workmen Compensation Reserve 60,000 rupees is maintained. Show the accounting treatment under the following alternatives. So case 1, if there is no other information given. So no other information means when nothing is mentioned whether the firm is having any claim, whether any worker has met with an accident or not, then what we have to do. That is case 1. So children, because of lack of space, I did not write in the books of journal entries, in the books of P, Q and R journal entries. This you have to write on top of the journal entries. And also the date column is missing. Because of lack of space, I have removed the date column. You have to write the date column. Now let us see case 1. So case 1, when there is no claim against Workmen Compensation Reserve, then the total reserve has to be shared among the old partners in old ratio. Anything appearing on the liability side will have a credit balance. If you are to close the credit balance, that will be debited and old partners capital account will be credited in the old ratio. Now you may ask, madam, here in this case all are old partners. Yes children, all are old partners. But the cases are same. The same rule is to be applied even in the case of admission. There if I say all partners, you will get confused. So I am saying old partners capital accounts. Okay. So you can see the entry, workmen compensation reserve 60,000 to P, to Q, to R. 60,000 is divided in 3:2:1 ratio. Now let us see case 2. In case 2, if claim on account of workmen compensation is estimated at 24,000 rupees. So if there is a claim amount, okay, there is a claim, and if the claim is less than the reserve amount, that is the case. So we have a claim of 24,000 rupees and 24,000 rupees is less than 60,000 rupees. Then what should we do? We have to subtract 24,000 from 60,000. So 60,000 minus 24,000, you will get 60,000 minus 24,000. The balance amount is 36,000. Okay. I just did a quick calculation. 18,000 plus 12,000 plus 6,000. 36, 46, 56, 60. So 60,000 minus 24,000. 36,000 will be shared among the old partners in the old ratio. So what will we do with 24,000? The reserve of workmen compensation reserve of 24,000 is now converted into a liability. Workmen compensation liability. So it will be transferred to provision for workmen compensation claim. Where will this appear? Provision for workmen compensation claim will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay, children. So 60,000 will be removed from the balance sheet. 24,000 will appear under the head provision for workmen compensation claim, and 60,000 minus 24,000, 36,000 will be shared among the old partners in old ratio 3:1, 3:2:1 ratio. Now case 3. If a claim on account of workmen compensation reserve is estimated at rupees 60,000, which means claim amount is equal to the reserve amount. We have 60,000 reserve, the claim is also 60,000. Then what should we do? The full 60,000 will be transferred to provision for workmen compensation claim. So the full reserve amount has now become a liability, which means the partners will not get any amount at all. They had a reserve. The full reserve is now to be used for paying off workers. So it is now a liability. So workmen compensation reserve account debit to provision for workmen compensation claim. In the new balance sheet, workmen compensation reserve will not appear, but in the liability side, provision for workmen compensation claim will appear to the extent of, well, excuse me children, sorry for that. So case 3 is over. Now let us see case 4. In case 4, the claim amount is 75,000, whereas we have a reserve only of 60,000. Then what will we do? The claim is more than reserve. So 60,000 will be fully transferred to the provision claim account, and the difference 15,000 we will collect it from revaluation account. It is to be considered as a new liability. When liability increases, it will be shown in the debit side of revaluation account. So the same treatment we have to do. Look into case 4. Workmen compensation reserve 60,000 will be fully debited. Means this credit balance will be fully debited, and 15,000 will be transferred to revaluation account debit side as it is a increase in liability. So 60,000 plus 15,000, a new liability will be created. So the full amount will be credited to workmen compensation claim provision 75,000. So we have maintained a reserve only of 60,000, but some accident happened to the extent of 75,000. 60,000 we took from the reserve and transferred to liability. It's nothing children. Reserve and provision for claim, workmen compensation claim, both will appear in the liability side. The thing is, one is a reserve and the other one is a provision. You already know the difference between reserves and provisions. If you don't know, go back to your 11th syllabus and have a recapitulation. Okay. So the reserve is now converted to provision. And for the balance 15,000 rupees, it is increase in liability. So 15,000 will be debited to revaluation account. This is the treatment. Okay, children. Now last what they have done, they have written P account debit, Q account debit, R account debit to revaluation account. This 15,000 is shown as a loss distributed among the old partners in old ratio. Actually, this entry is not required because in reality, you will be preparing revaluation account. This 15,000 will appear in the debit side of revaluation account. That's it. But when you have other items, you don't know as of now whether it is a revaluation profit or revaluation loss. So please don't pass this last entry. I'm not able to use my brush. Let me see whether I can use this. Yes. Don't pass this last entry. Why you are not supposed to pass this last entry? Because in reality, when you prepare revaluation account, let us assume this is your revaluation account. Okay. This 15,000 will appear here. 15,000. But you will have other items also. So when you have other items, at last we have to find out whether it is a profit or loss on revaluation. They have passed this entry assuming that there are no other entries in revaluation account. If this is the only entry in revaluation account, then the final entry is correct. Revaluation loss of 15,000 is debited to partner's capital account in old ratio. But you may have other entries also. So unless until the question specifies, don't pass this entry. Now in board examination, suppose you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks. Suppose this question is asked for 5 marks, then you have to use your prudence and pass the final entry, but write simply. It is assumed that no other entry will appear in revaluation account, hence the total loss is considered as 15,000. You write like that. Okay? I hope it is clear. Now let us proceed to the next slide. So these are the 4 cases of workmen compensation reserve. I want you to copy illustration 26 and solve the 4 cases in your notebook. Children, this is a part of a full-fledged sum. You may get question like illustration 26, a small sum, or you may get a full-fledged 8-mark sum in which one of the 4 cases will appear in the balance sheet. You have to prepare revaluation account, partner's capital account and balance sheet. Now let us see the next slide. Today's homework, I asked you to copy illustration 26. Copy illustration 26 for practice and then solve exercise 26. Exercise 26 is same as illustration 26. You also have answers here. So practice on your own, children. Now let us go to the next slide. Now we will be seeing investment fluctuation reserve. This reserve is created out of firm's profits to meet fall in the market value of investments. So let us assume you have a balance sheet of a company. You have investments in the asset side. Now what type of investments? This is investments. Okay. Suppose I have invested in shares of Reliance company. 6 lakhs. Suppose. Okay. Now shares of Reliance company will be fluctuating. It may go up. It may come down. So I have an investment fluctuation reserve. This investment fluctuation reserve can be of any amount. It can be of 6 lakhs. It can be of less than 6 lakhs. It can be of more than 6 lakhs. Depends upon my capacity. How much from the profit I can transfer to investment fluctuation reserve. So assume I am maintaining it for 50,000. Only 50,000. So suppose in the coming year when the firm is getting reconstituted, I come to know that the market value of investment is 5 lakhs. 1 lakh it has reduced. Market value is only 5 lakhs. Then I will use this investment fluctuation reserve to compensate the loss to the extent of 50,000. For the remaining 50,000, I will show it in the revaluation account debit side. because it is a decrease in the value of asset. In the balance sheet, what will happen? I will show investments to the extent of 5 lakhs in the asset side. How did I get 5 lakhs? 50,000 I got from investment fluctuation reserve and 50,000 I got from revaluation account. So basically children, investment fluctuation reserve is maintained to meet the loss in market value when compared to the book value of investments. Now let us see the cases. You have illustration 28. P, Q and R are sharing profits and losses in 3:2:1 ratio. So immediately what you have to do? You have to write in your answer, old ratio is equal to 3:2:1. They decide to share the future profits equally. So write new ratio is equal to 1:1:1. In these sums children, you have to write this in the beginning of the question so that you will not make any mistake. Then you have a following extract. So see, there is an investment at cost means book value. The at cost investment is 5 lakh rupees and you have an investment fluctuation reserve for 30,000 rupees. So as I said, investment fluctuation reserve can be for any amount. It doesn't mean that it should be same as investment. It's not like that. Now let us see case 1. When no other information is given. So when no other information is given, it means the book value and market value of investments are same. It was 5 lakhs, it is 5 lakhs. So what we will do? The full 30,000 rupees will be shared among old partners in old ratio. That is the first case. So let us see case 2. If the market value of investment is 5 lakhs. So case 1 and case 2 are same. Case 1 is when no other information is given. We assume that the book value and the market value is same. Case 2, they have specifically given just to clear. If the market value is also 5 lakhs, so the book value is 5 lakh, the market value is also 5 lakh, there is neither profit nor loss. So full 30,000 rupees will be shared among the old partners P, Q and R in old ratio 3:2:1 ratio. So reserve is appearing in the liability side. When you are distributing it among all the partners, this reserve will be credited and partners capital account, this reserve will be debited and partners capital account will be credited. So for case 1 as well as case 2, the entry is investment fluctuation reserve account debit 30,000 to P's capital account, to Q's capital account, to R's capital account, 30,000 divided in 3:2:1 ratio. Now let us see case 3. If the market value of investment is 4,88,000. So what we have to do? First we have to find the difference between book value and market value. Book value is 5 lakhs. Market value is 4,88,000. Find the difference. 2,000. Then 9 minus 8, 1,000. The difference is 12,000. 12,000 is the loss. So this 12,000 is actually fall in market value. This is actually a loss. But in order to compensate this loss, we have a reserve of 30,000. So what we have to do? We have to reduce the loss from the reserve. 30,000 minus 12,000. What do you get? 30,000 minus 12,000? 18,000? Am I right? Yes, 18,000. This 18,000 will be distributed among old partners in old ratio. Now you didn't understand, no? See, we have a book value of 5 lakhs. But the market value is 4,88,000. If we don't have investment fluctuation reserve, then 5 lakh minus 4,88,000, 12,000 will be shown in the debit side of revaluation account because it is decrease in assets. But we have investment fluctuation reserve. So to the extent of the loss, it will be compensated from investment fluctuation reserve. So what is the extent of loss? 12,000. So 12,000 will be taken out from investment fluctuation reserve. So from 30,000, we are taking 12,000 to compensate the loss. So 30,000 minus 12,000, now we have a balance of 18,000 in investment fluctuation reserve. This 18,000 will be shared among the old partners in old ratio. This is how we have to do. Okay. So what effect will it have in the balance sheet? In the new balance sheet, in the newly constituted firm's balance sheet, investment fluctuation reserve will not appear and investments will appear at 4,88,000. How 4,88,000? 12,000 we removed it from liabilities. 12,000 we have to remove it from the assets also. Okay. So now if you see case 3, 30,000 investment fluctuation reserve account debit, 2 investments 12,000. They are actually crediting investment to the extent of 12,000. When you credit an asset, the asset gets reduced to that extent. If you don't have investment fluctuation reserve, then the entry would have been revaluation account debit to investments. Narration decrease in assets. Since you have investment fluctuation reserve, the entry is investment fluctuation reserve account debit to investments. Okay. So once from 30,000 you have transferred 12,000 and compensated the loss, the balance 18,000, 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. The balance 18,000 is shared among the old partners in old ratio, 3:2:1. This is how you have to do. Step 1, book value minus market value, find the difference. Step 2, reserves minus the loss in decrease, the decrease of the asset. Step 3, the final answer will be shared among the old partners in old ratio. Okay, children. Now, let us see the next case. Case 4. If market value of investment, okay, we have a new case which is not appearing in this question. Fall in market value is equal to investment fluctuation reserve. So this is not there in illustration 28. So I have included it. You include this. Okay, that is why I told you write the illustration. So suppose the fall in market value is same as the reserve amount. Which means let us assume market value is 4,70,000. What will be the entry? What we have to do? First step that we have to do is 5 lakh minus 4,70,000. Book value minus market value. 5 lakh minus 4,70,000. The loss is 30,000. So loss is 30,000. Reserve is also 30,000. Full reserve amount is used for the loss. Which means partners will not get anything. The journal entry is investment fluctuation reserve account debit to investment account 30,000. So what effect will it have in the newly reconstituted firm's balance sheet? Investment fluctuation reserve will not appear in the liability side and investments will appear at 4,70,000 in the new balance sheet. This is the effect. Okay, children, understood? So let us go to case 4. The market value of investment is 4,46,000. So what is the heading that I have given? Market value is more than, fall in market value is more than investment fluctuation reserve. Which means the loss is more and the reserve amount is less. Then the balance will be transferred from revaluation account. It is same like workman compensation reserve, children. When the claim was more than the reserve, we transferred it to the debit side of revaluation account. The same thing we have to do. So let us see the question. The market value is 4,46,000. So let us find out 5 lakhs minus 4,46,000. What do you get? 9 minus 4. You get 54,000. Okay. So loss or fall in asset is 54,000, whereas we have a reserve only of 30,000. So again you have to do minus 30,000. What do we get? 24,000. This 24,000 will be debited to revaluation account, which means we have a loss in the value of asset to the extent of 54,000. 30,000 we are compensating from the reserve, so the balance 24,000 is debited to revaluation account. Let us see the journal entry. Investment fluctuation reserve account debit 30,000, revaluation account 24,000, to investments 54,000. So what effect will it have in the newly constituted balance sheet? Investment fluctuation reserve will not appear because we had a credit, fully it is debited. Revaluation account will be debited to the extent of 24,000. It will increase the expenses. And in the balance sheet, investments will appear at 4,46,000. Because from 5 lakhs we have to subtract 54,000. It will appear at 4,46,000. This is how it will be shown in the balance sheet. Now let us see case 5. If the market value of investment is 5,06,000, which means market value is more than the book value. अरे वाह, ये तो अच्छा हो गया. It is good. It is a profit. So 6,000 will appear in the credit side of revaluation account. Increase in value of asset, credit side of revaluation account. Then what will we do with 30,000? Full 30,000 will be shared among the old partners in old ratio. So see here, 30,000 investment fluctuation reserve debit. Okay, I left to explain this, children. So children, before proceeding to case 5, I would like to explain this. Again, this entry is not required. I explain only this entry, isn't it? I explain investment fluctuation reserve for case 4, debit 30,000, revaluation account debit 24,000, to investment 54,000. What they did, they have taken this 24,000 as loss and they have shown the loss distributed among the old partners in old ratio. But this actually is not required. Why it is not required? That may not be the only entry in revaluation account. You have other entries also. This is only an extract of the balance sheet. In a full-fledged sum, you don't know whether the partners will have a loss of 24,000 or they may even have a profit. So unless until asked, don't pass the second entry. Okay. So I'll put a mark like this. This entry is not required. Now coming to case 5, what did he say? It is a very good situation. So the full 30,000 will be shared among the old partners in old ratio, as in the case of case 1 and 2. Investment fluctuation reserve to P to Q to R in 3:2:1 ratio. And 6,000. This 6,000 is a profit. This 6,000 will be transferred to the credit side of revaluation account. See, investment account debit to revaluation account. So what effect will it have in the balance sheet? Investment fluctuation reserve is fully transferred, so it will not appear in the newly reconstituted balance sheet, and investments will appear at 5,06,000 because it is increase in value of assets. Now, no need to pass the last entry. What they have done, they assume that 6,000 is the only profit of revaluation, and they have shown the net effect of 6,000 being transferred to the old partners in old ratio. But again, this is only an extract of the balance sheet. Extract of balance sheet means it is not a full-fledged sum. If we prepare a full-fledged revaluation account, 6,000 may not be a profit. So, the last entry you need not pass. So children, I hope you understood what you have to do. Now based on this, we will go to the exercise question. You have to solve illustration 28 as well as exercise 28. Similarly, you have to solve illustration 26 and exercise 26. Okay, children, both you have to solve. Okay, illustration 28 is same as exercise 28. Now there is one thing that I want to tell you. Whatever I explained in this video for workman compensation reserve or investment fluctuation reserve, this was as per case 1. But if you have case 2 in the question, then what will you do? What is case 2? The reserve will continue to appear in the same value. We will not close the reserve. Isn't it? That is case 2. Then what will we do? Under each case, whatever was the amount which was transferred to the old partners in old ratio, that amount, we have to apply the fraction of gain or sacrifice, and we have to pass the entry gaining partners account debit to sacrificing partners account. So in case 1 and 2, in case 1 the amount was full 60,000. So on 60,000 we have to apply the fraction. In case 2, the amount was claim is 24,000. So 60,000 minus 24,000, 18, 28, 29, 30, 36. So on 36,000 you have to apply the fraction gaining partners account debit to sacrificing partners capital account. Like this, children, in case 1, whatever was the amount transferred to the partners capital accounts, the total amount, on that amount we have to apply the fraction for case 2. 99% such a sum will not come involving case 2. So stay home, stay safe, and keep studying, keep learning. Bye, children.